What it do, flight crew? FTC. Flight team stand up! Hey man, thought it would be interesting to hop on this one specific reaction I seen on my recommended page for the last 2 weeks. It looks like it could be relatable, but then again could not, because to be 100% honest with you, I've always had a gaming addiction. And it's actually kind of funny because I do have a couple of like some drama things that happened when I used to live with my parents because of my gaming and everything, such as, things from getting bad grades and things around that. But I never got to a point where it was so crazy where I almost was left homeless. So it's kind of interesting to kind of see what everybody else's story. Everybody has their own story, you know what I'm saying? So this guy apparently was almost on the verge of being homeless because he was gaming too much. Now, wonder if he was like a Twitch streamer or a YouTuber.
Laying on my bed with my eyes wide open, looking up at the ceiling. It was 7 in the morning, and I had just pulled my 5th all-nighter. Yet, all I could think about was that epic win last night. Ouch. I could barely move. My body was numb and everything hurt. All I could feel was the pain and cramps in my body. But at the same time, I was already mentally planning on how I could make it to the next level of my game. It had been 5 years since my father gave me a PlayStation and a football game to go along with it. My parents divorced 2 years earlier. They argued a lot, and I heard them screaming at each other, often when I was in bed trying to sleep. I'd bury myself into my pillows and wait anxiously until the screaming stopped, which would only happen when my dad stormed out of the house. I'm an only child, and so during the weekdays, I would live with my mother, and every other weekend, I would visit my father in a city 2 hours away.
What did he say he
He
lived
works
in?
for a security company, and therefore would often have to work the night shift. He would usually come home around 6 o'clock in the morning, and would sleep in till 12 in the afternoon before we could even spend time together. I didn't have any friends in the area he lived in, and so it would get extremely boring without having anything to do
so
or
you turn into the
anyone to
games.
see. This all changed when I received my new game. It meant that I had an escape.
This was almost as similar, you know what I'm saying, in terms of I can relate to him not having, friends or different people. Because basically, the middle school that I had went to, that was just like my littest time, like of my life. I had like all the realest, like down around like type of friends and everything, you know what I'm saying? And even I still talk to this day, you feel me? So it was just like, basically, I was supposed to go to this one high school, but like it had like a crazy dropout rate, and it was bad as fuck. And they had just built a new high school that wasn't too far, and like they had changed like the zone of like my neighborhood and everything. So like people in the neighborhood, like if you lived in this part of the neighborhood or whatever, you went to that school still. But if you was in this section of the neighborhood, they'll make you go to that school like by the county. And if you were caught, you feel me, it would just be like some crazy strict process, like damn near almost crazy how like if somebody was like have to go back to their own, like if they're an immigrant or whatever, that's how strict they was in the county. You know what I'm saying? I was running in West Palm Beach. So like if you get caught basically, you know what I'm saying, without the right credentials and you're in the wrong school and your address is basically, long story short, not zoned, you feel me, like you're gonna have to go to that school, and if they catch you, they'll have to, they send you back to school, whatever, do what they do. But yeah, I actually went to that high school, and I didn't have the same friends, and it was just much more different, and on a different scale that I didn't really mess with, you know what I'm saying, as crazy as I did with middle school. And that's what I felt like actually turned me on to play video games in 10th grade, my first time, because I played on a basketball team in 9th grade. Long story short,
reality, from my parents.
so like when I had the injury in 9th grade, I turned into games and stuff, because I didn't really have friends like that in that high school.
Become the best striker in the world kicked in.
It was just different.
My mother was extremely unhappy with my new hobby. She would often say, "Put the damn controller away. Don't you have any homework to do?" I noticed that I was spending more and more time gaming, but so what?
I like the drawing.
I was still going to the gym. I played football every Saturday with my team. School was going okay. Failed 2 classes, but hey, the teacher said with a little more effort, I'd be able to fix this. However, I kept getting better at the game. I was creating the best teams, selling players, mastering all the techniques, and winning all the matches I played. I downloaded the game onto my phone so that I could play during the breaks at school.
Dang.
And it also meant that I could secretly play in bed without my mother realizing. "Did you not sleep well?" is a question she started asking more frequently as I sat yawning at the breakfast table. I was introduced to the online gaming community through another player. On the website, it said, "Welcome to the family for game addicts." The term addict made me laugh. It can't be
Nah,
bad.
it's crazy because it's another similar thing. What also kept me interested when I had first was the gaming really like that. Like I was always playing video games like NBA Street, NFL Street, and like them older games like Spyro and Ratchet and Clank and shit like that. But basically, I remember in 10th grade, like my first game I was ever introduced online because I never had the new gen systems because we didn't have the money. You know what I'm saying, to actually get the system. And funny story, I actually ended up getting all the money from trading in my PS2 and all the games with that PS2 so I can buy the Xbox 360 during that time. And I remember I was introduced to that online thing on the 2K10 Draft Combine. If y'all boys remember that game mode, I think I actually played a couple of times on this channel. But they had an NBA 2K10 Draft Combine and everything like that. And so like you was able to talk online. But basically, I would always play ranked matches, and I would just like used to talk smack on. Like it was just like the funny like thing that it was pretty dope to do. And then 2K11 came, they had that crew mode.
I thought to myself.
The crew
As time
mode,
went on,
you know what I'm
I
saying,
began
was
meeting
like-
more players, all of whom had fake names, such as Orange 5 and
Ha!
Alpha.
Nah,
I
for
decided
real.
to call myself Rome02, after the first two letters of my favorite footballers, Ronaldo and Messi, and the year that I was born in. I loved meeting all these gamers. I had never had so many friends before. We exchanged playing techniques and kept each other updated on the latest upgrades and trends in the gaming world.
Wow.
Eventually, I slowed down going to football, as well as going to less training sessions.
Why is he saying football? It's a soccer ball.
And coming up with excuses not to play on Saturdays. I would tell my mother that I had too much work.
It's like a
but
mistake in the
I could
writing
tell
or
by
something?
her face that she knew I was lying. After failing to attend another training, the coach kicked me off the team. I didn't care. I was involved in much more exciting games with my friends online. I was playing every day for many hours on end to improve my skills.
Wow.
There were days where I was so tired, but the pressure to continue playing kept mounting. The pressure from my mom to stop playing also grew. She started checking on me all the time, sometimes barging into my room without knocking while I was in the middle of a game.
Wow.
We started arguing more and more. One day, she got called into school as my teachers expressed their concern for my distracted behavior and disappointing results.
That was crazy because I
Suddenly-
feel like too, like it was a blessing in disguise because it's just like I never was like in the store regardless. But I remember when I was really getting into the games, especially before I even started YouTube, because like I was watching YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Like as I was like gaming online before I actually started. So it was just like I remember I was just as soon as I found out about YouTube and just like I was gaming in this, like watching people like Chris Smooth and many more other people. Like I was just caught up, and it was just I didn't really like honestly even care. I just felt like there was just no hope or purpose for school anymore. And I always remember the teachers, bro. I went to a point like after 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade, like I had a parent teacher conference literally scheduled every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was just it was annoying. You feel me? Because they would just tell every little detail about me, bro. Like it was just. But anyway, man.
I had found more and more problems. Money. Gaming is expensive, and I didn't have much pocket money. I had already borrowed money to buy the latest PlayStation 4, but I needed more stuff, like a special pair of gaming headphones, and an upgraded charger for my controller. I had to find a job, but I didn't have the time. I was saying yes to every invitation to play with my online friends. I simply
What?
didn't have time to work. I had to sell my bike as well as an expensive pair of Nikes to get by. One day, my mom caught me trying to take money from her wallet.
Oh,
She
man.
was furious and yelled, "What have I done to deserve this? You can go live with your father. Maybe he'll know how to deal with you."
Dang.
So, on my 17th birthday, I moved in with my father in a city where I knew no one and didn't want to know anyone. My dad encouraged me to start a course for computer design. He said, "Why not invest all this time spent gaming into something that you enjoy and something that will actually get you a job in the future?" Initially, this worked really well. I enjoyed the course and was going out with my peers quite regularly. One of the boys asked me if I was interested in moving into a student house with all of them. I said yes immediately. Luckily, my
Wow.
dad was okay with it, and he helped me move into my new room. not knowing all that lay waiting ahead.
That's the mistake he made. See, like, I don't know about you guys, but I am really like an antisocial type of person. I never really knew how to come out and express that in like a story time or just like a personal Q&A or whatever. But I'm actually like real down to earth, antisocial. I enjoy being very, very alone to myself. I was like that even when I was like, a kid living with my parents. And it actually started more when I found out about the online, when it came to the gaming. Like I was just always naturally used to just loving to be by myself and stuff. Sometimes I'll close myself out in certain things from different things I'm doing. But I would never want to move in with anybody, man. I can't move. I can literally never ever move. And even if I have like a baby mama, get somebody pregnant, have a family, like I just could not move. I cannot have somebody living in the same household as me. Just little things like if you move my water bottle too far to the left side of the fridge, that's just don't trigger me, bro. The fact that you gotta have to wait for someone to get out the shower, then you can easily be like, okay, then why can't you get, a 3-4 bedroom and blah blah. But it's just still, bro. I like that privacy, bro. You feel? I just can't do the roommate stuff, and this is where I feel like he messed up, especially when you're into the gaming world. I honestly feel like if you're like a hardcore professional gamer, especially if like Twitch is like your full time job, you're a full professional gamer or anything in that category with YouTube, even if you're a gamer, you just upload straight gaming videos. I honestly feel like it's better to just be 100% by yourself. I feel like it's people when you're with other people and you're doing that, and they see you get mad on little things and just be on the game countless of hours, like it'll kind of like not weigh out. They'll try to distract you and just, I don't know, bro. I just feel like this is a bad idea. And then the fact you didn't even know these people like that, man, I'm sorry that he made that decision, but I would have stopped myself right there.
One of my
Even if I wanted to find a way to play the game, I would just like.
I didn't want to go at first.
I knew that was not a good decision.
Everyone was persistent, telling me to stop being a loser and to just come and have some fun.
See, that's exactly what I was trying to get out. Like, your friends sometimes can, dictate you and being like, don't get me wrong, you have to have social mix in too. Just because I say I'm antisocial doesn't mean that I still get out and be social with people that I actually feel like are genuinely real to me, you know what I'm saying, and have a good time. You feel me? It's a different category today. It's more of like I have like 80% antisocial, 20%, social. You feel me? But when you're in a situation like him, it could come to a point where these guys in the household want you to be maybe 40%, more social, or 50%, and try to influence you and take you away from the grind. See, I feel like with his gaming edition, he should have, been on this Twitch grind or the YouTube grind or whatever, so.
We began playing a game called Fortnite.
Fortnite. Fortnite was invented way after YouTube and Twitch was around, bro.
As my player's name. We put on our headsets and began to watch our screens
I hope he's like
vigilantly.
Present day right now doing good for himself.
And we're given the task to eliminate all the other players on
I would have
the
tried to
island.
get into like a
The
professional
adrenaline
league.
kicked in
I would
as
have
the
tried to
play space
do
started to shrink
YouTube or
and our
Twitch or
opponents were
both or
coming
whatever at the
closer.
same
It
time.
was clear that my talent hadn't
You can't just be
disappeared.
playing the
In
game
the final game, I was the last
like
one
just
standing
100%
against 4 other players.
like for free.
It was super intense.
Nowadays,
but
you
with
know what
a
I'm saying?
bit
You gotta
of
be
luck,
smart.
I managed to beat the whole squad and earned my victory royale. I was the winner of the night. The next morning, I woke up with the worst headache ever. I walked over to the fridge to find something to eat, but there was absolutely nothing. Looks like I had to make do with tea and biscuits. Back in my room, I opened up my computer and logged in.
Wow.
I couldn't stop thinking about how fun the game was. The next thing I knew, it was 4 in the afternoon. I hadn't been to college, and I hadn't eaten anything. It was official. I couldn't stop gaming.
Wow.
The days, weeks, months that followed consisted of constant gaming.
Wow.
At one point, I played 2 weeks non-stop.
Really?
I ignored my headaches and the pain in my shoulders, hands, and fingers. I was consumed by this game. I didn't have time for anyone or anything. I failed my exams and got kicked off of the course I was studying and lost all my student finance. My housemates decided to give my room up to someone who would be more involved with students.
Wow.
I had to leave, but where was there to go? My parents weren't an option. I was too scared to tell them about everything that had happened. I didn't have enough money to find a new room, and as I'd ruined any real friendships I had no one to turn to anymore. It got to the point where I would spend all day gaming at an internet cafe.
What?
And at night, I would sleep on the streets.
No! Come on now. It is not that serious. Once, bro, like, you know, obviously I feel like when he's making this video, he's 100% good right now. He's probably rich as heck, you know what I'm saying, living a lavish life. But, bro, if you ever get to a point where you're literally gaming in a cafe to get by, bro, you need to, like, you know, bro, come on now. Like, that's too much now. That's too much. Like, I am a game head, you know what I'm saying? I am proud to say it. But it'll never get out of here, fly! Gotcha! Ugh. Gotta wash my hands soon. I thought I missed them, but bro, look, man. It should never be that serious to you guys out there that are playing the game right now, and there's nothing wrong with having a gaming addiction. But make sure you look into the future. Look 5 years ahead of time. You enjoy doing the games, right? You feel me? Make sure you make that into something. Whether if you want to do YouTube, Twitch, you want to do both, go into a professional gaming league, you feel me? Or, you feel me, you can go to school and do something similar to that game and stuff. Like if you want to invent your own game, like all jokes aside, like the amount of time he consumed doing this, you know what I'm saying? He could have definitely used it productively. I know that's just not even the way to pronounce it. I almost got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to try because it's going to turn into a meme. But I was close. You know what I'm trying to say?
I wanted nothing more than to go back to the time where I was living with my mom and when I was clean. I wanted to play football again and go back to having a normal life. In all honesty, I just wanted to be a kid again. I was scrolling through the telephone numbers on my phone and came across the number of my old football coach, John. He had always been someone I could go to when my parents were fighting. He had been nice to me and listened when I was upset. I contemplated calling. Would he remember me? Would he forgive me? Would he even care to help? John speaking. His kind voice immediately comforted me. He was extremely straightforward. He told me, I can only help you if you promise me you are willing to give up gaming. And, he continued, you have to tell your parents and allow them to be part of your recovery.
Wow. Ooh, I know that.
It's been 6 months now. I still visit a rehabilitation clinic once a week that helps people who struggle with addiction. Through the help I received here, I was able to overcome my addiction to gaming.
Yes.
The first month, they had arranged that I was still able to go to school during the day.
Like I said, it's nothing wrong having a gaming addiction, but when it's too much, it's a problem.
1 hour of supervised gaming, and as the days went on, this became less. I was also prescribed medication to try to help me fight the constant urge to game. At the start of my recovery, it was extremely difficult, and every day was a struggle.
Wow.
For the longest time, I had depended on gaming for my happiness. So when they took it away from me, I felt helpless, like a child whose favorite toy had been snatched away. It took months before I felt my depression start to go away, and my self-control begin to return. I realized that I wasn't going to be someone that would be able to game once in a while, so I decided to stop entirely.
Wow.
I've moved back in with my mother and have started playing football again with my old team.
It's a soccer
John lets
ball.
me help him train the young kids at the football club. There are a lot of them that talk about gaming more than football. I hope I can help them so that they don't ever have to experience the same problems that I did.
Wow. You know what I'm saying? You know, hopefully now he's doing much good for himself. I'm pretty sure he is. And that's crazy. I can feel him because I also remember when, you know, I was getting lower than a 2.0 GPA in certain periods when I was in school, in high school. You know, my mom would take away the Xbox 360. Like, bro, like I feel that pain because it's just like, damn, you can't even play online. And it was crazy because I at that time I would have more online friends that I felt like they were more real than ones that be personal. So it was just like, it's like you're leaving like a family, you're leaving like your fun. And, you know, it takes away, you know, your happiness, you know? So, like, I feel them, but, you know, you always never want to make sure it gets to a point where it's affecting your livelihood.